Assemblymember Twycross.
As part of the mayoral strategy to tackle violence against women and girls, you're committed to securing prosecutions around FGM. So far this year, as you'll be aware, there's been just one unsuccessful prosecution for female genital mutilation, with significant reductions in funding to the Met, as outlined by previous speakers, including Joanne McCartney. What are you doing to ensure that prosecutions for FGM remain a priority?
Well, they will remain a priority, and we brought in the first strategy for London for violence against women and girls. We helped massively to escalate the public awareness and indeed political and police consciousness of this issue. I would not want to see any slackening of the aggression with which the police will tackle this crime. And it was incredibly disappointing to see what happened with that prosecution. I have to say, reading about it and reading about the case, normal person felt it was pretty bizarre that individual in question had been charged. It plainly wasn't the right person, and that shows if I may say so, it shows the difficulty when politicians put pressure on prosecutors to come up with something. I'm afraid people can make, for the best of possible motives, they can make mistakes, and it takes careful gathering of the evidence. It means reassuring the victims that they will not be the subject of reprisals or ill treatment. It's a very, very sensitive business, and it takes a lot of police work. And so I totally understand your concerns there, Fiona. But I'm sure that Bernard Hogenhire does as well.
Okay. Well, with significant cuts to borough and neighbourhood policing, there's a risk that it will become increasingly difficult, not easier, for police to build up the trust and evidence required, particularly in terms of the trust with communities affected by FGM, which could make it harder to identify both victims and perpetrators. Do you believe that the money that you've committed to community work aimed at preventing FGM is sufficient to tackle this problem, and how will you ensure perpetrators are brought to justice? Well,
this is something that the police are absolutely determined to help us all to crack. They have a unit in the Met that is there. The Sapphire unit is there to deal with violence against women and girls. But it's to get a successful prosecution for FGM is going to require a lot of cooperation by people who know it's going on, but who, for all sorts of reasons, want to protect the perpetrators. And that's going to require a big shift in attitudes in London, and it's got to happen.
So last year, when I asked you about this time last year, actually, when I asked you about the lack of prosecutions, you said that there are people who are simply getting away with it, and as long as they get away with it, and as long as there is not a successful prosecution, then people have a sense that it's not taken as seriously as it should be. How long will people simply be getting away with it? Because I think, for example, in Southwark, 1 in 10 babies is born to a woman who's been a victim and survivor of FGM. This isn't a marginal problem. No, how long will people simply be getting away with it?
I can't give you the answer to that, because I don't know of any. I'll be happy to supply you afterwards with any information I have about investigations that are underway or arrests that have been made. I don't know what. Forgive me. I don't know the state of any of our particular inquiries into it. All I know is what you've just said, which is that it was a very disappointing business earlier this year when we failed. This has been illegal since 1981 in this country, and we still haven't produced a successful conviction. It's a great shame that hasn't happened. That doesn't mean we're not determined to do it, and we will.
Thank you.